RadioZero.
It's RadioZero with Rick and Rose. Friday, October 25th, 2024. The last couple of weeks of our democracy.
So negative.
No, I'm being positive. It's the last couple of weeks.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day out. The leaves are falling.
Along with democracy.
And I didn't. Do you have any announcements to make before we start?
We're live streaming on Facebook on the RadioZero page and on Poster Children page. We do that every other week. Typically 5 o'clock. Today was 5:30 Central. On Twitch at PCJCUSA and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can go to radiozero.us, find the RSS feed. You can patronize us at patreon.com/RadioZero. Thanks to all our patrons. And that's it.
So what types of things are going to change under the second Trump presidency for us? Like, we're going to be richer because the groceries are going to be cheaper.
I think Kamala Harris is promising that too.
Yes, but she's not going to win. So, and I'm sorry. I've been listening to the Pod Save America podcast because I love it. Love it or leave it. I love it. I love listening to those guys because they, like every so often they'll talk about Obama and stuff and like hanging out with him and everything like that. But the thing that I like the most about it is just like listening to them. Like they've got another podcast called like Polar Coaster or something too, like that, because it's polls, because they pay attention. They actually pay attention to the polls. Like they actually believe them and they live by them and they like worry about them and stuff. Whereas I don't know enough.
I mean, isn't that the word on the street now, is that the polls are completely inaccurate now? Like there's nothing,
so
like it's totally
this is what I don't understand.
Data.
If the poll is completely unusable data, why does the poll say that they are absolutely equal, neck and neck, 48%, or whatever they have?
I don't know.
Why?
That's probably true. Right.
Well, then it's not inaccurate, is it?
I guess not.
Yeah.
But yeah, the minutia, the kind of very subtle. Yeah, it's too close to call.
And
right,
some
I
of the
guess.
And so some of the reasons are that people who vote for Trump are too embarrassed, or are going to vote for Trump, are too embarrassed to say that they're going to vote for Trump. And then people who, like, women, for example, who are with their husbands being polled, are going to vote for Kamala Harris, but they're too afraid to say that in front of their husband because, they're worried their husband will beat them. Trying to think of some other reasons why the polls, like, and there are a whole bunch of other reasons too, right?
Yeah, I think it's because they're not really right. They're not doing randomized polling anymore. It's a lot of it is people voluntarily responding.
Oh, okay, yeah, and so that's even more garbage. And then there's
it's not that it's garbage. It's just they're saying it's accurate and representative, but it's not the supposed sort of random sampling, and you can't get anyone to answer a phone call to do a poll. You can do door to door, I guess, door to door, right? And there's some of that going on. Yeah. I don't know.
And then there's the undecided voters, who are like, so my take on this today. So we're 2 weeks out? We're less than 2 weeks out from the election, right? From election day?
Yeah.
Which should be like it should be a movie. Is there a movie called Election Day? But we're 2 weeks out. So today the news was, today the morning news was a new poll, whatever the big poll came out, and it's exactly equal. It's exactly equal, which made me come downstairs here at like 6:30 in the morning and just be like sitting with my coffee, like just with this like, fuck like face. And then Dow comes downstairs and he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like thinking, I'm worried about an upcoming mammogram, but also this poll.
Our nation's mammogram.
Our nation's mammogram. Our nation's, yeah. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I mean, it's been pretty divided, right? For a long time, almost 50-50, right? I mean,
yeah,
and
it's
not,
been,
and not
it's
almost.
been 50-50
I guess if
for the whole time.
you think about the popular vote and just sheer numbers, that's not true at all, right? There's
yeah, more people want Kamala Harris to win.
but just I mean, if you look at the past 20 years, right?
Yeah, it's gotten more
It's always been close, right?
Yeah.
And we've been divided this way, and it's just now there's it feels a little more high stakes.
Well, also, I've spent this whole week listening to like the Pod Save America, like they have guests on that are like, "Oh, I'm cautiously optimistic," and they say, they're never cautiously optimistic. So like, I was like starting to think, I was letting my guard down a little bit. Like I was letting my guard down over the past couple of days, and then today, they just hit me with like, "Oh, fuck," and then talking about, and then NPR is like, and both candidates are going to be in Texas today, and Trump and Kamala Harris is going to be talking about, what is she talking about? Abortion rights, and Trump is going to be talking about the immigrants, right? But their two main stories are Kamala Harris is going to protect your abortion rights, and that's pretty much it. That's what people know about her. If I need an abortion, I got to call Kamala Harris. And the other side is, if I want my grocery bill to be smaller, then I got to have Trump. I need to vote for Trump because Trump is going to lower my grocery bill, and Kamala Harris is going to let me get an abortion. So which do you need more often, an abortion or groceries? Well, I need groceries, so I'm going to vote for Trump because I remember how it was under Trump in 2020, in April 2020. It was so nice. Things were cheaper. Like toilet paper was cheaper then, right? How much is toilet paper now? Oh, wait, it's not cheaper because it is cheaper, or it's more expensive now, but guess what? It's fucking on the shelf, right? So anyway, that's what it's boiled down to, though. It's like, do I want an abortion or do I want to have cheap toilet paper?
Is that true? Is that what it boils down to?
It boils down to that.
It's been this 50-50 divide, unchanging. There's a tiny sliver of people who could vote one way or the other, and is it that they're concerned about that?
That's what it is. Yeah. It's the undecided voters. Like, well, I don't know. My daughter might get pregnant. I might get my daughter pregnant. I might forget the condom next time I fuck my daughter. Or, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really upset about all this. Or, I need my grocery. I've been paying a lot of money for beer lately, and yeah. Sorry.
I would say it's, and so from what I've heard is that thin sliver of people who are undecided, they're not that deep into the politics of this or the issues that you're talking about. It's more kind of like,
well, then how
Kamala
the
Harris.
Fuck do they...
I've heard of her, and then Trump. I know he was president before, and I know who he is.
That's that. Well, this country gets what it deserves. Then April Smith says, "I wonder if most of those contacted are those with home phones who tend to be older folks." Yes, You're right. Yeah,
I mean, and
absolutely.
that's the problem is they've been having where it's kind of
yeah.
like, and that was what the last couple of elections, right? Is all that skewing, and so now it's just completely crazy out the door kind of surveys that are, some of them are online, but then door to door stuff. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a reliable thing. So I mean, it's entirely possible that, hey, maybe maybe it will be just a bunch of people voting for Kamala Harris, and Trump will get completely destroyed. Maybe it's not,
Maybe it's not. Yeah.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
like,
it is the other way around.
Trump was always going to win, and it doesn't matter, who ran against him.
So let me just say like this. Yeah, because there's going to be, oh, you should have kept Biden. Oh, he would have won. He beat him last time. Trump always wins over a woman.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, the woman thing. So it's like it was, being, blissfully ignorant or overly optimistic that a majority of people did vote for Hillary Clinton, and and so again, it's not it's all that too. It's like,
so what's going to happen? Like, will there ever be? And April also says hello from the red state hellhole, Oklahoma. Hello there, April. Keep safe, April. Are the grocery is Trump going to lower the grocery prices? Is that going to happen?
Well, didn't he say today yesterday he was going to get rid of taxes, income tax?
Oh.
Altogether.
Okay. Oh, that's good. But is he going to lower the grocery bill? Because I don't know. I'm probably too stupid to know what an income tax is. Maybe I'm not.
He's not. No, he's not.
He's not going to. He can't
He's not going to
do
do anything.
The lower. So are these people at some point going to go, oh, shit?
Well, he'll already be president again.
Yeah, but will they be like, oh, we're like, what's actually going to happen? They're going to get their daughters pregnant, and then but they'll be able to get abortions because they'll just come here to our wonderful state of Illinois. They'll be able to afford gas because gas will be cheap. I'm trying to play this out. I'm looking at the bright side of things. So our stocks are all going to go up, right? Like we'll be rich, right? We're rich white people, right?
I don't know. It's
we won't have jobs though because we are teachers.
At a public,
like I was just going to take my
higher education.
Yeah, I was going to take my jacket off, and I just with all the swearing and stuff. I'm wearing my company shirt, but I'm not going to open.
I think the nightmare scenario you need to think about is what did J.D. Vance say about like just getting rid of most universities?
Yeah, he doesn't like universities.
Like
yeah. So we'll get rid of those.
Thinking about J.D. Vance, being moving into the office in a year or two.
So what happens then? Well, then people don't. Then tuition goes down because you don't have to pay for it. So you get rid of they're not going to get rid of ISU, right? They're going to get rid of U of I.
The question is how much institutional damage, and I'm not talking about university. I'm just talking about overall. How much damage can they actually do? Like how much a project 2025, can be implemented, and so is it that it's going to be basically the legislature is going to be all in, and it's just going to be this huge sort of bulldozer destroying everthing? I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not. I mean, maybe everything will get sort of blocked, and there won't be as much dismantling as
I will tell you this
is being threatened.
Yeah, so I'm really excited because I can never for the life of me remember when my last period was, and with the period tracking that they're going to be doing for Project 2025, that's actually going to be a benefit to me because with my menopausal mind, I actually can't keep track of, and I'm assuming they're going to keep track of my period too because
just in case.
Just you never know, You never know. Like just in case I decide to get an abortion or something like that. So I'm
for fun.
It'll be
just to go through it without it actually being
Just to stick it to the man, as they say, and literally stick it to the man. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind a little male help with my tracking my period. I would like that. I'm assuming that I could prove that, with a simple blood test, they would let me over the any border, really. I mean, I could go to Indiana if I needed to. Or, I could come back to Illinois, right? Is that going to be a problem, coming back? We'll have, little Illinois cards, right?
Yeah, I guess that's an extreme. Yeah, my question is how much damage can truly be done, and I guess we'll see. I'm not ready to call it like you are.
And so then let's say Kamala wins, and let's think about how much damage can be done there too. Okay, let's think about that. So mass shooting in the streets, like shooting the Jews, shooting the shooting at schools, right? what are the shooting at the, like driving cars into liberal places? Like what'll happen there?
Just yeah, I guess you could say
No help with my
government
period tracking.
Yeah, any state legislature, right? So and then Congress, right? So anybody validating election results, right? Threatens that those institutions will be threatened, I guess. Possibly, but maybe not.
Puberty, any of this puberty, any of this woke stuff, right? The puberty blockers, pronouns.
I kind of feel like so. How much of this stuff is why isn't this happening now, right? So we've got a little bit of it, like the crazy guy going after FEMA, hunting FEMA people.
There you go, yeah.
That kind of stuff. But it's kind of like all that extremism. Like, why is that not more active? I mean, we had January 6th, right?
A couple of people died with that.
We haven't had anything since then, right? Like on a major, like again, small level extremist stuff going on. So the question is will people go totally ape shit?
And when you're talking about people, what you really mean is Antifa, because that's who was responsible for January 6th was Antifa.
All
Heard
right,
that?
whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you want to.
I think this. I don't want to say it, but I think I'm breaking this chair. Sorry.
Okay.
I
might need to fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
So
see what happens.
we had our neighbors had this wonderful woman who does research on this tracking women, like the new like using computer tracking for women, tracking their periods and their cycles and stuff to make sure that they don't get abortions, because that seems like something that is easy to do. So like a lot of women were afraid to use these medical apps to track their periods, right? That was something that you could do. If you buy your tampons at Target, why don't you give me the music here? Ladies. Let's talk about making sure that the government helps you keep your body safe. So make sure that when you buy your sanitary napkins, you need to buy them at a government like an okay place, government sanctioned place, because if you buy them from somewhere else, they might be dirty. They could harm you. So make sure when is the next Handmaid's Tale coming out? Is it coming out soon? Is it coming out
November?
Is it January?
It's a Tuesday. First Tuesday in November.
Oh, okay. I started laughing and I started getting chest pains because I'm really scared about this stuff. So there was a woman doing research on how they will track women, and like there are certain areas where women cannot go over borders now if they're pregnant.
What you mean, like in the world?
Yeah, no, here in fucking like not Utah. I can't remember what state it was.
Right,
like in Georgia, you can't travel because you might be. Oh shit! I'm wearing an ISU shirt, and I'm saying like all kinds of really political stuff, and I don't want to do that to ISU. If I'm a teacher, I love you, even if you're a Trump voter. I say that to I say to my students, just vote. I don't care. I love you all. I don't care who you vote for. Just I want you to vote, and I mean it. So I need to take this shirt off.
And then the question is do our actual corporate overlords, the people who are actually running the world, and digital overlords, what's it called? What's the 5 companies? Not Antifa. What is it? Apple, Facebook, somebody.
Okay, all right. So do the major corporations, do they buy into the Trump stuff too? Is that what you're going to ask?
FANG.
Oh.
Yeah, so how much so
Well, Bezos, what is it? What the Washington Post today just was it? What is it? What news
Yeah.
outlet just said that they're gonna not endorse a candidate this year for the first time or something because
Is it the Wall Street Journal?
Wall Street, one of them, yeah,
Probably the Wall Street Journal, right?
Yeah.
The Post, I don't know.
All right.
But Bezos, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. So the thing we all know about Elon Musk, but I'm talking about these other, like big tech and then massive corporations is like there's a certain level of dismantling of the American system that will not be beneficial to those companies, right? So so that's the thing is all the stuff you're talking about. Although, the abortion stuff.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's
Politics
I think
will be fixed by the free market.
well, no, I'm saying that the free not the free market, but the capitalist powers are not going to allow a complete dismantling, right?
They'll dismantle the king before he dismantles the government enough so that it won't or before he dismantles the country enough so that it won't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's another bright side. That's why we're talking about this. So April says it is pretty creepy how much these anti-trans people think about the genitals of trans kids.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's creepy and weird.
Yeah, and all that, and so, but the other side of it is like, oh, okay, yeah, all that stuff, all the kind of culture war stuff. Does that affect the bottom line, right, and profitability of the true power brokers, right? And so the and so maybe not, but I think it does. I think there's a certain level of pushback. Maybe we'll see.
This is a hopeful message from Rick saying that it's not really he's reminding us that it's not really the government that is in control of the country. It's the corporations. That's a new song right there.
Additional. Yeah. I mean, but that's fascism, right? It's so like the kind of, commingling of those two. And so, the question is if the moral stuff, the culture war stuff starts messing with the bottom line, there'll be a correction, but I don't know if that's the case. I mean, can a culturally oppressive state still be profitable, right, and exploitable?
Richard Florida thinks not.
Yeah, and I just think in general, right?
No, that's not his real name.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing is that I'm.
You're in a happy mood today.
I'm not in a happy mood.
Okay.
I'm first off, I don't know that I'm not resigned to the fact that Trump's going to win. And then secondly, I'm thinking about what I mean, it did get pretty scary the last time around. But it's like and there's lots of dismantling going on, and then what could happen next? But then I'm wondering, if
science,
there'll be some pushback.
Like our friends who are scientists, right? Like take it. Like didn't they talk about dismantling like NOAA and stuff, right? Like
So all of that, any kind of federal funding. But I think that's been going on, right? And so the world is shifting, and so it is all shifting. Yeah, and you just have to look at like space, right? And it's like, oh, now it's all billionaires and their corporations, doing, financing. It's all private, right? A lot of it, right? Not a lot of NASA, or not a lot of federal or less federal money going into that, right?
It's the free market.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me sad though about all this is that like the people who live down the street from us with the Trump sign, right? They're voting for Trump not because they want this, not because they want, like, they actually believe in Project 2025 and all the things that these motherfuckers want to do. They're voting for Trump because they're afraid that people are going to come and take their jobs or something, right? It's not like why can't they just actually state their, why can't they just be like, why can't not the Republicans, but the Trump Republicans, why don't they just just state their case. Like, hey, this is what we want to do. We don't want women to be able to be in control of their bodies. Why don't they just, I mean, and I guess they did put the Project 2025 out. It's out there for people to read.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. You can just make a blanket statement and saying that's what these people are that invested in what the sort of policies are of Trump, right? It's like
they're not at all. They're like, well, I want Trump's going to lower my grocery bill. I care about that.
It's just he's
he tells it like it is.
Tells it like it is. He fights the power. He's
he's bringing back manhood.
Yeah, he's just you're right. A leader.
But that's the thing
has had the job before. He's familiar, right? It's again, you're attributing a much deeper.
You're right. All right, but let me say this. Okay, so he's a man of the people. I saw him working at McDonald's. That's not true. So why doesn't he, and he can't even show how rich he is because he's not rich either. Like, why, they should have him out on the golf course all the time, like with his ass hanging out, like badly golfing. Like he should be everywhere, just being the Jabba the Hutt that he, like the incompetent Jabba the Hutt that he is. And then like let people, why not be proud of who he is and what he stands for and his like that I wish the people who were voting for him actually were voting for like him because they wanted that to win. Like this is a false symbol that they're voting for. This is like fake. It's not the real thing that they're voting for. They're voting for a false idol. They're praying to a false idol.
I mean, you can make the argument about it. That's the argument about all politicians,
I know,
right?
I realized the same thing. Yeah,
it's like,
I give up. All right.
That's the argument. People would make the argument against Kamala Harris. It's like, she's just saying those things and saying she's for people, but she's not that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I give up.
But
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
We talked about so the day that I went to vote for not for Trump the last time he ran was the day that I went to vote for Hillary Clinton, and I wore all white, and I walked down the street.
That was not the last time you voted not for Trump.
Oh, I guess, yeah. But the last time I voted not for Trump when he was, unless I wrote it in, yeah.
No.
He didn't run again, did he?
He ran against.
Oh, fuck.
Hillary.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, all right,
Biden.
Yes. So the first time I voted for Trump.
Voted for Trump. Oh, my God. This is news flash. So much going on here.
I'm actually having chest pains.
I know. I would have chest pains, too.
I walked down the street wearing white, and I was like, I'm always going to remember this day, the day that I elected a woman president. And then I remember, I don't remember, we were talking about this like that night, the election night, we had a cake, or I think, like we were buying cakes or something. We were buying pies or something like that. And we had some sort of celebration dinner, like, it's voting day, let's have our special dinner. And then we had the music that I love. Is
that on NPR?
I think that's the NPR or the WIL or whatever, PBS, like the PBS. Yeah,
music,
it must be, right? Is that the same thing?
I can't
PBS
remember.
the same thing as NPR?
No, but
you hear it on NPR though.
Yeah, I think it's on NPR. They have it, right?
Simulcast on PBS.
Maybe.
Anyway, that you heard that music, and like some of the returns were coming in, and then like something happened to give me a bad feeling. Something like at 4:00 or 6:00 or 7:00, something happened, and I was like, oh. And then it was like a couple of hours later, and I was like, Rick, should I go out and get the pies? And you whispered, you went, no. And I think I may have gone to bed.
I feel like you did get a pie or something. I feel like I...
No, I may have... No, but I was going to go out. I was going to go out later to buy something celebratory, and you went, no.
I thought I feel like it would be something I would stress eat.
Yeah, but it was more of a like, should I get like we had
Yeah.
Doritos or whatever, we had popcorn and stuff like that. But it was like, should I go get the thing? And you were like, no. I remember, and then you were you remember yelling or something and pounding your fist on the table. What was it?
Pennsylvania. So when Pennsylvania went, I was pounding my hand against the side of the couch and yelled, "It's over."
And yet, here we all are.
Yeah,
Nothing
made
bad
it through.
happened.
Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened.
It's a major
except
pandemic.
fucking pandemic, and like couple of deaths, right? How many deaths? Like 10 or 20? I can't remember how many people died in the pandemic.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
That is, I always forget. You know, it
Inject
was.
bleach.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I don't forget. I do remember that. The thing is that, yeah, I don't know.
We're gonna watch this again and laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, oh, I should listen to each. We've
Oh
got
my
at least
God, yeah.
20 years of these pre-election
Yeah.
things, and
Some of them you would play, like you'd play some Clash song, right? And we'd be in the basement, right? We'd be in our bunker.
yeah, I mean, I think
What was
we
it?
probably have pre-election
Yeah.
2000. Yeah, I'm sure there's a huge amount of in fact, yeah, there are probably a bunch of great episodes for the 2000 election, and then 2004 being bummed out about that, and then 2008 being excited, and then 2012 being worried, and then it all being fine.
I think
And
what hit like
Yeah.
what hit it for me like was after Obama was elected. Oh yeah, there's probably like you were saying, like there's like a post-Obama episode, right? We elected our first black president. But like that, like it was after that I went to the bead store, the local bead store, and the woman was like, she was like, "We're gonna get through this somehow. I don't know how, but I've got all my crystals here." Like she like had like chakra crystals to help people through the, like I walk in, I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? Wow, what an election, huh? What's going on?"
So I'm going to say,
Yeah.
okay, here, I'm looking at the November 13th, 2000 episode, and it's entitled, it's in three parts: election results, part 1, part 2, and part 3. And one says Rose goes postal, and then sleepless in Champagne. And then after that, 2 weeks later, it's called Robert Downey Jr., and it's Rose and Rick on ice. So it seems like we recovered pretty quickly.
We were
from,
fine.
Yeah.
Wait, what year was that?
2000.
2000. Wow.
Memories.
2000.
December 4th. Let's see.
Oh, was it
happen?
when I got breast
did they-
cancer? How
when
was
did
that
they-
one?
When did they decide? Well, what year is that? That's
2020.
2020. Okay. Well, 2000.
Yeah. Let's go.
Um,
Let's revisit. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Wow, it doesn't look. Santa and War. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. 2004. Let's see. We've got.
Can we ask an AI to summarize this stuff for us?
Yeah, I could probably dump it all in, but
Yeah.
not quickly. Ooh, it looks like we lost some. Ooh. Best episode ever, November 7th, 2004. Unfortunately, the Windows machine at the studio responsible for recording the show died. Yeah, doesn't look like
We
got
survived.
2004. Yeah, we survived.
We
2004.
survived all this.
Oh,
Okay,
we
so
didn't
we'll
even
do it
any
again.
episodes in 2008, so we don't even have Obama stuff.
That was dumb.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think a new
Had a
baby,
kid, right.
right? In process. My dad
Oh.
was sick.
Yeah.
Around then, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know what to say.
All right, we're gonna be fine. So let's move on. Let's talk about what else should we talk about? You want to talk about our vacation?
Sure.
We went to Pasadena because my friend's kid had a birthday party.
You don't want to say bat mitzvah because you're worried that will show up in the files,
Yeah.
the database.
Well, it wasn't my bat mitzvah. I went to a bat mitzvah.
Yeah,
You
I
all
think
did
that's-
too. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that could be
it was a
suspicious
circus themed bat mitzvah. It was pretty freaking amazing. It was amazing, right? I've never been to a circus themed bat mitzvah before, have I? And the
No.
yarmulkes were all red and white. They're
other
really, really
two
cool.
bat mitzvahs I went to were just party themed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did have themes, right? But they were more,
Yeah.
like kind of.
Yeah.
I just remember dancing and stuff.
One was a b'nai mitzvah.
That was third.
Oh, it was
but
the
so I was talking
okay.
about
The other
bat mitzvahs that I've been to.
Lots of candy usually, right?
Yeah.
At the bat mitzvahs. So the other thing, so we're not going to talk about did we talk about the bat mitzvah?
What do you mean?
It was beautiful. It's what I will say is I don't remember my bat mitzvah where I don't remember being able to interpret the Torah at all. It was just like, here's the Torah's word, and then you sing it, and your crazy aunt falls down the stairs while you're singing, and the paramedics come and wonder what the fuck's going on while you're singing the Torah in your house because your grandma died that year, so you couldn't have it anywhere else. And that's all I remember from my bat mitzvah. But
why don't you
going.
explain to the those who are not chosen what a
when
bat
you
mitzvah
become
is?
13, you have your confirmation.
And also, and so bar mitzvah, right?
Bar mitzvah, yes, bat mitzvahs are new from this
kind of a
century.
new,
bar mitzvahs when a young man
reform, whatever you call it, sort of progressive.
People of the Jewish faith can you spend years studying a part of the Torah that you're going to sing. And the words all have notes underneath them. They all have vowels. The Hebrew letters all have vowels and also notes, like little ways that teach you how you're supposed to sing the notes. So that's all really cool and stuff like that. And then you just have this ceremony where everybody gets together, gives you money and presents, and you sing your Torah part and stuff like that. It goes for like a couple hours and stuff. So that was very nice.
Yeah, this one was a good hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful too. I've never heard such a beautiful voice singing the Torah.
Readings, people reading other things, not necessarily from the Torah, poetry and
then interpretations.
Yep.
Too, and so the part of the Torah that you read, or the Haftorah, I'm not clear on how they're different. But
I felt like the rabbi explained that.
I know he did.
And you didn't listen?
I listened, but I can't. I always feel like I know the Haftorah is not half the Torah. But it's like a response book or something, right? But that's the part, like you get to read, like it's divided up into sections, and depending on what time of year your birthday is, you get a certain section. So anybody born at this time, which is right at the beginning of the year, gets the beginning of the Bible, right? Of the Torah. That's what I didn't understand. I guess I could look this up. But anyway, you get like the beginning, so then you can respond to it. You can, and the response was beautiful of the little girl who's she talked about just responsibility that we have to. It's not our world; we're just borrowing it, and it was just absolutely, it's lovely.
And not little girl, young woman, right? Because that's part of it, right? Is the transition from childhood to
womanhood. So let me ask you this: being not a chosen one. And we did let Rick in on how to control the weather too. We taught him how to do that it
was
last
beautiful.
week. Yeah, it was really cool. So what do you feel any kind of trepidation that you're at like an event, that isn't of your faith? Do you feel like Jesus is going to come down and smite you or anything, or are you proud? See, I feel like you're like really proud to have married a Jew. And too humble to say it.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I'm not.
You're not proud?
I don't consider myself a Christian.
Okay.
I mean, I was baptized and I had communion in the Episcopal Church. So I guess, but I don't feel like I am an active member of that faith. So
So, like, are you one of the people? You remember the TV show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? There was like a character in there that wasn't Jewish that like really wanted to be Jewish. Is that you?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Like
No.
overcompensating.
Right. Yeah.
But you're like a little proud.
I would have converted, right? I would have if that was the case, I would have done that, right?
You would have converted for me? Would you have converted for me?
Again, no, I don't think so
Yeah.
because I'm not. Yeah, it's not. I mean, and you
kind
need
of a
to
dumb
differentiate
question, yeah.
between
Yeah.
culturally Jewish
Yeah.
and then Jewish, right? And so for
Right.
me, I mean, it's fascinating because thinking about 2,000 or 3,000 years, right? 4,000 years, right? That these ceremonies, a lot of them, and readings, and have been passed down, right? And so that connection, that to me is fascinating, right? And so I'm interested in that, but I don't feel like I want to.
Yeah, you don't want to enter
like
into it.
4,000 years in,
right?
I'm not going to inject myself if it's not part of my my history.
Yeah, I could see that. Jeffrey Davis says, do you remember your Torah portion? So this is the thing with ChatGPT, I suppose, or just even the internet. I could like type in my birth date and then find out what it was. I don't remember it. I don't remember learning it in English.
How many years ago was that? 40,
Yeah,
45?
it was a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
I was 16. But I don't.
You were 16 or 13?
Or 13, sorry,
Yeah.
13, whatever I was. I wouldn't have, I don't remember learning it in English. And if I did learn it, it was a lot of, oh, thine, God, blah, 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 blah. The people did this, the people got hurt, the people were,
And you
had
didn't
to go
have
into
to do interpretation.
No, I didn't
or
get to
reflection,
interpret. No,
right?
I didn't get to do that at all.
So is that's something that's
got to be
not
newer.
always done, or is it?
Don't you think that everyone that we've been to, we've heard that though?
But
We've
it's also
heard,
40 years later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So things have changed, and
Yeah.
they were bat mitzvahs, not bar mitzvahs, and so
Right.
they're much in a b'nai mitzvah, and they were so I think built-in assumption that that's a more progressive and modern thing, and so their things could change, and
things are changing.
Yeah,
just
so
like
maybe,
in the Catholic Church. Just actually, there's that new movie Conclave. Is that what I want?
Yeah, which I saw the preview for and thought I think the younger son and I went to a movie or something and saw that preview, and
I saw
it
too.
Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah.
we were laughing through it. I mean, the preview
Oh.
made it look like what's
Yeah.
the Monty Python, the bishop?
Oh.
Is it the bishop?
I
Like
will
where he's
be
like
married. That one, yeah.
Is it the one where he's like a superhero, or it's like an action
Oh,
show?
I don't remember.
The bishop or the cardinal? What, I don't know. It felt like that. It felt really super, like they were making it seem high stakes. But then, I heard an interview with Ray Fiennes today talking about it, and it actually then all of a sudden it sounded interesting.
I feel like it's 12 Angry Men mixed with Fight Club, mixed with religion.
Is that what he said?
No, that's
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. I like
Well,
when
that
I
would be
saw it, I
great.
was like, it's going to be Fight Club mixed with 12 Angry Men, right? It's got to be
That's
12.
the thing.
Yeah,
There's a scene in the preview I saw, right, where like the conclave, like the roof is collapsing or something, or some explosion happens, and so I was just like, okay,
What the
this
hell
is
is that?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is redonkulous.
Yeah.
I mean,
But maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I'm willing to check it out. Happy Friday, Joe Chrisman. Okay, but all right. So we went to a b'nai mitzvah is for a person,
it's
binary fluid,
not a gender. It's
non-gendered,
non-gendered.
Non-gendered mitzvah
transition.
Transition
like to adulthood.
to adulthood. Okay, so that was good. There was a lot of circus food in it. There were horses dressed up. Okay, let me just say this: I danced with my hand. This hand touched the marvelous Mrs. Maisel's hand, and we danced the hora together. And her hand is very small, and I like so it's bad enough that like I'm kind of in awe of my friend, who's an actor, like an amazing actor. And I'm in awe that my friend talks to me and, like hangs out with me and hangs out with all of us, right? But that was really cool too. So it seems like there's like a cadre of like Midwestern like actors that are in some pretty famous roles that they're just so freaking down to earth. They're just nice. They're like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that person was at the bat mitzvah, as were some other famous people, and I was just kind of like, oh my God, there's famous people here, and I just didn't. I kind of wished I had spent more time and talked to them. But like the thing is, like, I don't want to ever make a famous person feel bad, Like, how, like, you go up to the Buzzcocks and you're like, oh my God, but, I saw you when I was in high school, and you're obviously 50, so that makes them feel old. Like it's like you're trying to compliment them, but it's like an insult, or like, oh, I love you guys almost as much. Oh, Poster Children, I love you guys almost as much as the Smashing Pumpkins, that sort of thing. like I'm so worried I'm going to say to a famous person, I'm going to be like, I loved you in this, but that's not the thing that they loved to have been in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a potential, but the thing is that when you talk to other people, right, that's always the same issue too, right? You can say,
but a famous
person,
person,
to someone else,
right? But but you worry more about a famous person's ego. Like a famous person, that's their whole thing, is their fame, right? Maybe not.
Yeah, I think but if
they worked so hard to get to it, and then, like, I don't know.
But that's part of so that's part of the difficulty, probably, of fame, is that having to, deal with people talking to you and saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? Or saying something stupid. But that's also, but and depending on the person, they learn to deal with it, or they don't take offense. Or the opposite too, is like, if you just sit there and compliment them, and then it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. It's like, so that all people have different ways of dealing with
their fame,
and
with
not
with
even
other
fame,
people's
just dealing with other people, right? And what they say.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I've had instances where people have talked to me. I'm not talking about as a famous person. I'm talking about as just a human being, and it's like they say something, totally messed up and weird.
Like,
and
why don't you shave your mustache or something like that? Like, what has somebody said to you that's messed up and weird?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a specific thing.
Yeah, come up with it.
Boy, I don't know. I can't think of it.
How come you guys are not as famous as?
Yeah, again, that's more like I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm just talking about
just like a normal person
human
saying,
interaction. Yeah,
like why are you wearing that shirt or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, in fact, there was a. Yeah. You look different. Sometimes people say that, and that'll spin me off. Or like, what's different? And I'm just like, what the hell? I don't know.
Oh.
I weigh 20 pounds more than the last time you saw me. It's just like spins out, and it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tons of things.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have to be a famous person to be insulted by a rando,
or insults, or yeah.
You can insult somebody who's just not even famous inadvertently, and you should worry about that all the time too.
But but the extra layer, I guess, is that with the fame is that you're dealing with people who are talking to you. There can be a parasocial level to it where they feel like they know you, right, and feel connected to you, and they do. In a way, they do feel like they know you, or they have a personal connection. That's what's really powerful about acting and the arts, right? Is it's a communication, right? And especially acting. So you're making an emotional connection. People are making an emotional connection with what you do, and so then having to interact with people who have an emotional connection with you, and then you're not on that.
That's weird.
It's unbalanced. That's got to be super weird, right?
Yeah.
Or even just that they
maybe they think you're that character. Sorry, interrupted.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They don't know how to separate the art from the artist, right? Or whatever.
Yeah. But now see, I had something to say and I can't remember what it was. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we hung out with some famous people, and their parents and their kids. And so the other thing that we did, like hanging out in Pasadena, was there's a museum called the Simon, what is it, Simon Norton.
Yeah, it used to be the Pasadena Museum of Art, right? I
Okay.
was reading a little bit of the history. It's interesting.
That museum was amazing. My God. There was a Judd, 2 Flavins, and a couple of Rauschenbergs with dicks. Trying to think of what else there was there. Like a Judd, 2 Flavins.
It is always interesting. Like, so lately, that was the thing about the Warhol exhibit it was before COVID, but at the Art Institute, where they had a bunch of stuff that was not like the like some off stuff. So yeah, like the Rauschenberg stuff, the erotic clock or whatever it was called.
Carnal clock, like
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
seeing that. And then there was a Warhol. It was a thing
boob.
about light.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it was an ultraviolet painting. Or yeah, it looked like a blank canvas, but then if you turned an ultraviolet light on it, you could see the silk screen.
And it was
right?
porn.
Yeah, and it was a
if
commentary on
well, if I just turn off the light, then it's not porn, isn't?
And the other, was it also Rauschenberg, the neon tube stuff?
Yes.
That was a Rauschenberg.
Yeah, no dicks in that.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen, like, yes, and that was the same. Like, there's another, yeah, like Rauschenberg did tons of crazy stuff like that. Where was the museum? Was that in New York, where they had the that computer controlled, like an early computer controlled artwork that like made these lava kind of like bubbles, or it was like a big huge mud bath with bubbles that popped
Cleveland.
up. Was it? And then it was controlled.
That wasn't a Rauschenberg.
Wasn't that Rauschenberg?
Oh,
no,
was,
that was.
Yeah, that was.
What's his
else.
name? Who else?
I don't know what the.
I thought it was a Rauschenberg.
Wow,
but like, yeah,
that.
getting to see some of the, not the big main, the
B list. We're looking at the B list art.
Yeah.
That was real. That's what I was saying. Like I was walking. I was like, oh, it's so nice to be in a museum and see art that I that I haven't seen, because we always go, you go to the Art Institute, you got to go past the window and you got to see all the other stuff, and you go into the room or whatever's got the, the new exhibition.
Or even not the stuff that just all the kind of top tier stuff that you always see images of or learned about in school and stuff. You know. It's like, oh, I like seeing the odd stuff. Yeah,
it was really, it was so good. What a great museum, right?
Some of the crap that these famous artists churned out.
Yeah, because, every artist needs to make some shit also. That was like that's what I was told my first day of art school. Everyone needs to make shit.
Before they make something good.
It was just everybody needs to make shit. You're going to make a lot of shit. Oh, thanks. Thanks, first critique. Do you remember any of the other? There was a painting from somebody who had spent a year in Urbana, and so the Urbana was on the
but then later, was in Pasadena or California, and so it was like an LA abstract expressionist or something.
There were like 11 plug-in things, 11 things that like plug-in arts. But one
the
of
mud,
them was
the mud computer controlled mud bath thing was a Rauschenberg.
Holy shit! I love Robert Rauschenberg. I think he's my favorite artist, except for Don Judd and Flavin.
Wasn't computer controlled. It was compressed air system, which had that big console computer, or not computer, but like a mechanical console controlling it.
Was it in Cleveland?
I don't think so. I think it was at.
Okay.
We saw some
mixed
big.
Up with something else.
It was at MoMA. It was like showing his. He did lots of collaborative work and these kind of large scale technology kind of and cutting edge projects in addition to his sort of mainstream stuff.
So I really liked the stuff that we saw at the MoCA, Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art. I loved that stuff, and I wanted to spend more time with it. And I like, it was right then, like standing in front of, there was some big red piece that I was like, I love this. I want to spend more time with it. And we're like, MoCA is in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're never going back there. I don't know, maybe it just seemed like it was in the middle of nowhere. So that made me, and I was like, oh, I want to see more Robert Rauschenbergs. Like, I need to know, maybe I should read about him.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you this, since I'm not an artist. Like, if I like somebody's artwork, can I make artwork like that?
Sure.
Because I kind of did, like, is that, like, that's okay, right? Because it's not like I'm going to ever purchase a Rauschenberg, and it's also like I don't want a picture of it and hang it up here either. I don't like that. I want to make my own. Like, I could just modify it. It's like making a song.
A cover.
But not a cover. Because it's like, oh, I like this genre of music. So, I could do that, right?
Totally.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you're going to be...
Maybe I'll make some art.
Yeah, you're just not going to be a multimillionaire artist, gallery artist, because you're...
Too old.
Yeah, too old.
And have boobs. Have a boob and a half.
Yeah, it's not true, though. I mean, there's
right. Mother
you
Christmas or whatever her name is.
Grandma Moses.
It was something like that. So we had a visitor. We had a visiting artist come and talk to us in our department. Put on by the founder of our program, of our now school, right? It was a teacher from Columbia, right? And that, like, he had a whole bunch of really great Columbia College in Chicago. He had so many great things to say, like great sayings. Like, one of the things that he had said was, widen your target, right? Was he saying that? Or did he say widen your bullseye or widen your target? Oh, you weren't there for any of this. So let me tell you about the stuff that he said. Widen your target, which means, like, let's say you're going to be... his example was that, when he was 12 or something, he's like, I'm going to draw Conan the Barbarian or something like that's what I'm going to draw. It was something like that. That's all I'm going to draw.
I'm going to be the guy who draws it.
Conan. Yeah, I'm going to be the guy who draws it.
Draws this comic.
Exactly. Like
in
that,
the future.
That body, I'm going to draw him. And then, and there's one guy who does that, who's done it for the past 30 years. I think this is what he was saying, something like that. And you're not going to have that job. That's not going to be your job, because this guy's the expert at it. And so you're going to have to widen your target. Yeah. So, why, so he was like, okay, well, I'll draw this then. It was I kind of, now I'm like, why didn't I record any of this? I should have recorded it. But that was his thing about widen your target. He had another saying that was like, the Nike sign, like, just do it. The Nike slogan. Yeah. Well, he likes to add a word at the end. Just do it anyway. Like, so you're an artist, and you're like, oh no, if I shouldn't, like, me going, oh, I like Robert Rauschenberg. I'd like to make Robert Rauschenberg like looking things, because then I could put them in my house and be happy. But I'm not going to do that, and then he would say, just do it anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, I don't know if I should make this song because, people might not like it. Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Don't give up is an alternate of that. Yeah, just do it.
So I'd put forth that don't give up is different, because don't give up means, like, well, yeah, don't give up. Maybe you'll make it at some point. Maybe you'll do whatever it is. And this is just do it anyway, even if it's stupid. Just do it. Just make the art. Like, where, like, I think that's even, I really like that. I like just do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Trying to think of what else, some of the other things he said. And the students were taking notes, and it was just a lovely visit. And actually, he's a drawer, he's an illustrator, like you're an animator. He does animation, and that's what he teaches. His name is Jim. I'll just put it out there. And like, so he's like drawing and like talking about lines and stuff. And, he was critiquing other like students' artwork. And I was like thinking, wow, I've never been in a room listening to somebody teach somebody how to draw. I don't think I've ever been in a room. Like, wouldn't that be cool to be like in a drawing class where they teach you how to draw? He also said something, I heard him say, you're not a bad artist. You just draw like a fourth grader. And that's like any fourth grader draws a certain way, and then you could learn to get better. You could practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that too. But I like, I have been like revisiting my whole art career as it were, because I, gave that speech. Oh God, I was so freaked out about giving a speech last week, and it was finally over, and I haven't even celebrated the fact that it's over. But I was thinking about how I'm not an artist, and now where was I going with this? I can't remember. But like just thinking about like that first critique where like all computer science was you compiled it and then you ran it and then it either ran or it didn't run and then you could debug it. It either worked or it didn't work. It might have crashed after a while. That still meant it didn't work, right? But art is so subjective. And then to show my first art project, which was like, bring something in the first day, bring something you like in. And it's like, I had a videotape of the sun bouncing off water, which looked really beautiful to me, and was told, oh, that's okay. So everybody needs to make a lot of shit first. And like, I was like, I can't even believe there was no other critique other than that, or at least nothing good that I heard. And I understand that critique now. I understand it, but I wasn't ready. That's not what I expected to hear.
What's your understanding?
Well, my understanding is that you can't make something you can't make something that would be considered art without a whole lot of context around it.
So just because it looks cool doesn't mean it is
cool. It's art. Yeah. Yeah, you can't make you need a reason for why you made that water there.
Right.
Or you could just do it anyway.
You could just do it anyways. Exactly. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's part of critique.
What was your first? How the fuck did you manage? Like, because you were also a computer scientist. So what was your first critique like in art school?
I don't remember.
Try.
I don't. I have no idea.
Well, what was your first art critique anywhere like?
Boy, I don't remember. I don't. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I honestly, I can't think of.
Maybe you didn't go to art school.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
no, you were there. I remember.
Maybe I didn't work at McDonald's. Maybe I made it up. I said I
Are
went to art
tired?
school just to get the cred. I'm telling people that I went to art school because that's a status thing.
Okay. Well, it looks like us and the country are out of time. Do you have anything else to say?
Anything, the kind of art I do, right? What would be the critique? It's just kind of like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what the critiques would be. Maybe I didn't get much critique. Maybe it's just people just didn't care or understand.
Well, people would have. Okay, like all right. Let's say your thing that totals up all of the words, the news words, top two news words, right?
Yeah.
People would ask you where the source was coming from.
Right.
Like, what are the sources? How did you choose them? Why is it Cooper Black? Like, I know it's not Cooper Black, but okay.
Yeah,
how about
I had rationales for all that. But that's, to me, I guess I would get a lot of questions. I didn't get a lot of, this looks like shit.
Do you know why?
Why? Because I'm a man?
No, because you're a good artist.
Because I'm a good artist. Yeah, no, I don't think that was the case. I think it was, it's just
you're
things.
You're a good artist.
I just had, I did have explanations for why things were a certain way. Yeah. But to me, that's, that's one way of, like, that idea that, it has to have rational. Yeah, because that thing I just did with my CPAP, data and recyclable or reusable, not reusable, disposable materials from my CPAP stuff and that kind of installation I did. I mean, I have rationale for everything, but then sitting there, talking to the gallery, folks at the gallery, and like explaining what everything was, and I was like, oh, great. It's like, oh, this is an interesting thing, but it's like I had to sit there and explain everything. And it's
translation art.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah, but it's either okay, all right, and the alternative is like there were some other pieces there were just pretty.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, that's not necessarily true. You could say that, but or they were pretty, but you don't know. I mean, I guess so. Then the thing is, so you don't necessarily know the conceptual underpinnings of of those pieces either. So I guess
let's talk about the faculty biennial for a second. Like in a couple of faculty biennials ago, one of our colleagues, let's just call him Aaron, had one of the most beautiful art pieces I've ever seen in my life. And now it reminds me of, I can't remember the names. Mark. It was the guy who did the Super Mario Clouds. I can't.
Oh yeah.
I was just talking about it, but
yeah.
It was in a room. There was a couch. There was a stereo, and the stereo played just the noise that went from the lowest end to the highest end. And it took like, I don't know how many minutes it took to, it was a noise like that went,
audio.
Right. But it was
audio piece.
Beautiful. It was like the spectrum. Like, so whatever artist that was that did Super Mario Clouds that I just talked about a week ago today, and I can't remember the guy's name.
I actually just was looking at him again, and I've forgotten the name. Also,
Corey Archangel. It's not a good name. It's not a good name to remember. So I think that he did something was like a Photoshop gradient, and printed out or something like that. So I thought it seemed a lot like Aaron's piece was like that. What a beautiful piece! Really, really gorgeous, right? And that was a while ago. And there was another piece too by another one of our colleagues, or maybe it was a couple of them, that was just a hole in the wall with like a whole bunch of earbuds hanging out, like old style earbuds. It was beautiful. Also, it looked like a flower bouquet, but it was hanging down, and you knew that you could pick up any piece of earphone and hear something different. It might have been Matthew's piece. I don't know. There was good sound art. I can't remember where I was going with this.
Yeah, where are you going with this?
What other pieces did you see in this faculty biennial that were good?
I'm not answering that question. That's
okay,
just
never mind.
Like, what did you see that was good? And then I'm like going to say, do you
remember something that was good?
This piece and this, and it's like, oh, the other ones aren't good?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yes.
What did you see that was good?
Well, I liked your piece.
Yeah, see. Such a weird thing
to say.
Well, no,
but okay, so there's all kinds of different art, right? When we learned this in the conceptual art piece with our Kevin and our Conrad, right? Conceptual art, what the hell is it called? Class, right? There was transactional. I need to go back to art school. I think that they should revoke my degree.
You have to get a update.
Yeah, I have to go for like the dentists, like my dad would always have to go for like professional development.
Yeah.
I should have to go back for professional development.
Well, you're supposed to be doing that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
As a scholar and academic.
You're right.
You're supposed to be keeping up with.
You know that there's a Duolingo for art history now, Rick?
And there was one for like learning music, right?
Music theory. Yeah,
but it's not part of the regular Duolingo, right?
Oh, they're making you pay? That's stupid.
I don't know. I looked for it when you still had the Duolingo family subscription or whatever, and I couldn't find that stuff.
I still do have the family subscription.
Okay.
It sounds like you don't.
No, I'm done with trying to learn a language from a frog. What is it? What is it? Is it a frog?
It's an owl.
Owl. That's right.
Man.
It's a green owl, though, right?
It is a green owl.
A frog-colored owl. An owl that looks like a
frog.
Don't
get me started on that fucking owl.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, we're well past an hour.
Before the world ends.
Yeah.
So next week, it's next Friday. We don't have this.
Right.
And then the Tuesday after is election day.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So then 4 days afterwards, we will not know anything. And let's make some predictions. I predict that we will not know anything, but it's leaning towards Trump. And has there been violence? Not yet. There's only been violence in Pennsylvania, where cars have driven into polling stations,
right? Or the
trucks have driven into polling stations.
The county, what is it? The election board, right? The county commissioner or whatever. Yeah, where would the counting be happening? My prediction is Kamala Harris wins by a surprising margin,
Thanks a lot.
and there's violence.
Okay. Kamala Harris wins by and there's violence. Where's the violence? Is it in Wisconsin? Is there any violence in Wisconsin? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to say North Carolina.
Yes.
I'm going to say no, not Wisconsin. I'm going to say where would be a surprising place?
Nevada.
Yeah. Arizona?
Do
maybe?
Nevada. I say
Yeah,
Nevada.
yeah.
Nevada.
Let's say
Well,
Nevada.
Nevada and North Carolina. And yeah, I'll give you Arizona.
I feel like
I'll give you
feel
Arizona.
because North Carolina is right going to be
Jews
close,
will
right?
not replace us in North Carolina.
Is that true? Is that where that was? Yeah.
So.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I'm really
I
excited,
think
actually,
you hit the nail
now.
on the head.
And I like North Carolina. You know,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's a tension point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's not right. Is it one of the?
There's a couple of states where she thinks she can win.
Yeah. Where she thinks she can win.
No, I mean where it's red and she thinks she can win.
Right.
You know, like with the women vote. Maybe the sisters get up and they all go and they sneak out on their husbands. They sneak out on the children during school. They sneak out of their jobs. They go vote. They vote for Kamala, like ladies vote. What I was thinking, like ladies, you know, cross your legs, wear your tight jeans, and don't let your husbands have sex with you unless they vote for Kamala. You heard it here.
I've heard that before, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it hasn't worked in other elections.
No.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the other side. Very exciting. Good predictions.